What's going on, guys? This is Chris. You're watching Dude Ranch DIY, and today we are starting work on the Ford 1522, 1520. It's bad that I don't even know the numbers of my own tractor, but exciting. I got the new seal kit in for the lift cylinders in the front. I took the worst one off this morning, as you saw in the previous clips, and I struggled to no end. I wound up having to take it off of the tractor and brought it to a buddy's house where he was showing me some tips and tricks on how to do it, and he got it off in no time flat. So now we're back in my house, we're in my garage, and we are going to give this a go. I've never done this before, so stick with me and hopefully we can learn something together. So here we are on a little workbench. My buddy helped me crack this free, and we are going to try and finish dismantling it and put in the new seal kits that came in express. So he cracked that for me, but it is still not hand loose. So the only thing that I'm trying to be very careful of is not messing up the chrome of the push rod. As of right now, they appear to be nice and clean, and no rust, no scratches, no dents, no bends, and I don't want to have to send them out to be re-chromed. A lot more threads on this than I thought there was going to be. All right, so we're out.
I forgot. What are you doing?
I'm working.
Looking at it.
Oop. I'm trying to rebuild this cylinder.
What's a cylinder?
Cylinder is this thing. It's supposed to help build pressure and pick things up when I want them to. Like I said before, the shaft of this push rod looks fine to me. I didn't see any scratches or rust or anything like that. And then I peeked down in the cylinder. I don't know how well you'll be able to see in there, but it looks to be okay. There are some spots that look like they might be scratched, but you can't feel them with your finger. So I think these are going to be okay. Next step is going to be to get this nut off, because our main culprit is this wiper seal that's leaking like crazy. So I got to get this off. In order to do that, this nut has to come off, this piston has to come off. I'll re-gasket these. It's part of the kit, and should be good to go. So I'm kind of basing this off of what my buddy did at his place, being that this vise might not grab hold of it good enough. So that rod going down to the ground is just going to hold on to the eyelet of the push rod. Slide that down like this. That way I can really hork on this nut without having to worry about it slipping out of the vise. Oh, wow. Had my doubts, but I got it. Don't have an inch and an eighth socket, so the Ooga Dooga is not going to help today. It almost feels like it's backing a shaft out rather than actually coming off of a bolt, but the bolt doesn't seem to be moving, so I'm probably just a sissy. Oh, that nut got hot. All right, nuts off. Piston head off. For future Chris, black then red. All right. So here's the one that we had the issue with. Looks like it completely deteriorated over here. It's all full of crap. That's got to come out. There's another little seal on the inside there. I don't know if you can see it. That's got to come out. On this piston, this red seal has to come out and this black seal has to come out. And on the inside of the cap, there's another gasket that's got to come out. So I'm going to grab I think just a small screwdriver, and maybe there's a pick in here. If not, I gotta go sifting through my other stuff. There's one. So I bought 2 kits, one for each cylinder, and kind of looks like everything's in there. I'll take them off one by one and replace what I can. It's definitely where we had our leak. It ripped off of there, no problem. So that's the wiper seal. Now there's a metal seal in here as well. Look at all that crap that came out. Just years of use and hydraulic leaks and buildup. What's left in here is like a metal, thin metal. Trying really hard not to score up any of these mating surfaces. I don't mind if I break this seal, but I don't want to screw something else up. So I had to consult with my brother a little bit. He is a diesel tech for Caterpillar, and so he does all this stuff pretty regular. So off camera, I took out, there was a black seal on the inside here and this lip, and that just completely fell apart. It came out in multiple pieces, very brittle, dry rot, nasty. So that is that. He says that there's no real way to truly mess this up. If you have a slight scratch in this mating surface, it's not going to be a huge deal. So I'm going to work on taking that out again. He also recommended some heat if I wanted to use like a little torch or something, and just get it out that way. But we'll see. I don't know. Probably be smarter if I wasn't holding it or lighting it on a napkin. There it is. Beautiful. That thing was hot. That thing took some heat quick. I was not expecting that. Wow. So as you can see, I didn't really mess anything up. There is a very minor scratch right here from the flathead. There's a little bit of surface rust from just sitting water, I would assume, underneath that bad seal. So I'm going to take a fine grit sandpaper and try to get some of that out of there. Wow, that thing is still really hot. Don't like that. Oh, good. What? I love when she does that.
What?
Alright, so this is all cleaned up. Got a lot of the rust out of there. There is some pitting. But really, what am I going to do about it? As long as it holds the fluids when I put it all back together, I'll be happy. Looks a whole lot better than when I got it, that's for sure. Just trying to wipe this down good so there's none of that grit left in here. That grit will really mess things up on the inside of the cylinder, and all the hydraulic components. Don't want that. Alright, we're going to let that cool down. There's one more seal down here.
It's just an O-ring. Pop that off. Got this one seal here. This one's a little bit of like a hard plastic. And then this red one. So those seals felt the best so far. They a little bit hard, but I think that might be by design because these replacement ones are also on the harder side. Sandpaper and just hit that quick, a little bit of oxidation. So this is kind of strange to me that this seal with the crack, I don't know if you can see on the camera or not, but there is almost like a casting of it in the metal itself. I'm almost inclined to reuse this because it'll fit correctly with that, because the new gasket is just a straight line. Alright, so all the old is off. Like I said, this one seal was really bad. This was on the inside of that top nut. Super brittle. And that main wiper seal was absolutely trash, the one that was in here. So the way my brother described things, I'm just going to start putting it back together the way that everything came off. And I think this is going to be alright. That gap really closes in, and I can spin this off to the side so it's not in line with that strange little cast there. The other thing we got is this red wiper seal. My brother said there's really no direction for these. No top side, no bottom side, as long as there is no taper. This one is tapered on the bottom and the top, so that will be fine. Try and get this back in here. He did say that I should actually put this all back together with some oil involved. Let me go get some oil. So the fluid change that we did, we used this oil from Tractor Supply. If it's good enough to be in the tractor, it'll be good enough to use on the seals. Got my wife's favorite baking dish to help us out here. Not doing anything crazy, just a little coating. Make sure everything's nice and lubed.
Lube or lewd?
So the seal, give that a little dip. So the biggest thing to watch out for is twists and bends, folding things over. It appears as though both of these are spot on. This seal, because there is a taper, I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, skinny on this side, wide on this side. So this is going to go cylinder side, exterior side. This will just get popped down in here. A little bit of oil. Just like that. There's our little O-ring for the outside. Just like that. Now this one is going to be interesting. This one's got a metal exterior with a rubber interior. This is what I know as the wiper seal. The way that the last one came out, metal on the bottom, metal on the side. So we're going to do metal on the bottom, metal on the side. And in order to get this in here, it's not just going to fall into place. That metal is a pretty tight fit. So I'm going to get a piece of 2x4 and a dead blow hammer and try to hammer that in nice and straight. So right now it appears to be sitting level and even. So we're just going to take this, a little tap tap.
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy.
Beautiful. All right, now for the messy part. Gonna put it all back together with a little bit of oil on everything. So I had a horribly hard time trying to get that nut onto this rod. So I called my brother back, and turns out I wasn't listening properly. The taper is supposed to go out of the cylinder, not into the cylinder. So now I just got the that seal out from the inside, because that one was on completely backwards, and it was not allowing me to get this nut onto the cylinder. All right, proceeded back in. I'll lube this up a little more. Move this up a little more. Give it another try. He said it should be snug, but it shouldn't be impossible. Oh, that's much better. Beautiful. All right. Black first, red second, facing out. That's on. And now to go back to the vise and tighten on this nut. Alright, so I reached back out to my brother because I could not find the specs for it. The book that I have is just the operators and repair manual for the tractor itself and not the loader. The couple of torque spec charts that I could find for hydraulic cylinder nuts were roughly like 300 or 400 foot-pounds. I called up my brother and he said the same thing. Because I don't have that big of a torque wrench, he said go ahead and put a dabble of the red Loctite on there and just tighten it on down to the German spec.
Guten Tag.
So that is what we're going to do. Click. All right. Perfect.
So now that we are torqued,
I'm torqued, you're torqued right now. Crank down.
Crank it down.
We are rebuilt. Just going to clean up the rod and see how much oil really pools up when it wipes it off the cylinder. All right. Put this on. Tighten up that. Push this in. Okay. Woo! Glorious. Finish running this down. Click. All right. Everything is back in place. The fittings are tightened. Pins are tight. This pin is tight. This fitting is tight. This fitting was actually loose when I put the hose back on, so I re-tightened that. My hoses definitely need to be replaced, but I'll save that for a project for another day. All we have left to do is give it a test.
Alright, give a shout if you see any fluid. Hopefully we did this right.
That is awesome. It appears as though there's a little bit of a leak down here. I don't know how well that's coming up on camera, but I can pop these fittings off and thread seal on those, on this fitting and this fitting. Up here, it appears as though it's dry. It's a little bit wet on the corner, so maybe that was by my hand, maybe that's from the loose fitting from before. But like I said, these we can thread seal. Our biggest leak was in fact from here originally. It is a little wet, not sure if that's from this leak, but it's a whole lot better than it was before. Before it would just piss out fluids, and it's not doing that. A couple other things came in. I ordered off of Amazon. As I'm sure you guys saw, I marred up one of those mating surfaces for the lip seal, so I got these non-marring pry tools. We'll see how well these work on the next cylinder and cylinders to follow. Hopefully they'll hold up. Big thing that I got to replace is all of the Zerk fittings. So I got them in SAE and metric. I'm not entirely certain what's on this. I'm assuming SAE, but Lord only knows. And a grease tool, 4-way. One side has a easy out, one side has SAE and metric, 1/4 inch, and the other side is SAE and metric, 1/8 of an inch, something like that. I don't exactly remember. Maybe it says it on the back here. Nope, it doesn't. But covers all the bases, and a little thread chaser on this side too, which will be handy for this 30-something-year-old tractor that has definitely seen its fair share of work and the elements, because it didn't seem like this was ever garaged. But I think it looks great for not being garage and for living as hard of a life as it has. It's only on the up and up from here. So I'm sorry this video wasn't as interesting as most of our videos. I hope somebody found it interesting and learned something from it.
If you like the video, give me a big thumbs up and comment down in the comments there. Let Jake know you want to see more of the content from this Ford 1520 rebuild and repurposing. So far, I really love this little tractor. It has its hiccups, but it's a great little machine for me. I love a little project. Anyway, like I said, give me a big thumbs up. Throw your comments down in the comment section. If you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one. This is Chris, and you've been watching Dude Ranch DIY. Thanks for watching.